Aha!
All right.
Hey,
Happy Friday.
stolen. I'm your host, Richie Cronin, with my wonderful co-host, Jason.
What's happening, Richie? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm exhausted. It has been a
Yeah.
very, very busy week. So, but
I hear
I'm
ya.
glad we're here on Friday for our
Definitely.
jam session. And, we're going to have a bit of fun, talk about some really interesting stuff, some stuff that's very close to my heart. And I'm pretty sure it's close to yours too, Jason. So looking forward to that. Celebrate some great shark wins and generally have a good time. So, grab a cold drink, pull up a comfy chair, always grab that notepad and pen, because there's always little tiplets of information that you'll take away and go, I wish I wrote that down. So let's get into it. We will.
It's time, the moment you've been waiting for. Get ready for the fastest 60 minutes of marketing strategies and tactics to grow and scale your business from anywhere in the world. After 167 agonizing hours, we've returned for a brand new Aloha Marketing Jam session. And now, here are your hosts.
Listen to that crowd.
Man, that's just gone crazy.
Going nuts.
Everyone obviously knows it's Friday, right? Another way. Fantastic. Yeah. So, what's
Happy
been happening,
Friday,
Jace?
man.
Busy?
Man. It's been busy, man. It's been crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm working remote today, so pretty fun. My son plays football. I don't know if you knew that or not, but
I didn't know.
Yeah, he plays football. So he's obviously football season. He's in Pee Wee football, but we wrapped up a couple weeks ago. But there's a huge tournament that the teams do every year just outside of Vegas. So in Tom's backyard. So we're actually a little town. It's called Mesquite, Nevada, just outside of Vegas. And so there's probably, I don't even know, 300-400 kids here. I mean, it's just craziness. So it's the tournament goes Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then we'll head back on Sunday. So it's exciting. We killed it last night. The boys crushed it. We our first game 19-0. So it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, that's a phone number.
Killing it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Best of luck for the weekend. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Who else we got? Who got joining us today? Patty's here on YouTube.
Hey, Patty.
Nice Patty. Doug Page, Jacqueline, across the pond. There's a couple there. So let's make sure we'll share the StreamYard link. If you
we got Kristen in here
StreamYard
too.
link, we can see who you are, and you can't hide. So Kristen, Regina. Lots and lots. Lynette, hey, thanks guys for coming on Friday. So we're pretty much, Jason and I've hijacked the show this week. Tom's actually, he's away. He's got a passion for his college football team, and he is off to their game tomorrow. So I hope he has a great weekend as well. He did tell me where it was. I think it was up north somewhere. So
Washington, Oregon, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's having a good time. Nick is on baby duty, of course. Apparently, baby is fantastic, really well, and him and Sloan there. That's going great. So we'll share.
We're really happy for him.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
So business-wise this week, Jason, how's your week been there?
It's been good. It's this time of year, I really go into reflection mode. This is where, we're winding down. It's Q4, and I do a lot of reflection every year this time where, especially once we hit into December. So I love to just reflect on the past year, all the wins, look at our targets, see what we hit, see what we didn't hit, make some major adjustments. Obviously, we like to do that on a quarterly basis and monthly basis as well. Mm-hmm. But I also think, like, at the end of the year, it's always really, really, really good idea to kind of sit back and just reflect, really take some time out
It's
for
so
yourself,
important, and
for
that's
your agency. Yeah. And just
part of being
reflect on the
professional in your
past year.
business as well. And look, I've been going through the same thing, and very lucky in Remote Millionaires to have access to someone like Laura, who has changed the way that I look at my workday and my productivity as well. And part of that process is breaking it down into, I do 45-minute work time in each hour, and I factor 6 of those in per day. And that makes up my work week, and they together make up my work month. So I can now measure my productivity as opposed to what my output is. And part of doing that is, of course, looking at each quarter and planning appropriately for that as well. And so I've been really big on that. And I've actually on my whiteboard in front of me here, I've got a monthly whiteboard and another scribble whiteboard as well. And Monday, my review of 23 is due. Because Monday, the 27th of November, my 2024 goals are due as well. So I've targeted and I've got them allocated time so that I can complete that task, because I don't want to go stumbling into 2024 going, I'm just going to carry on doing a bit of this and a bit of that.
Exactly.
It has a massive impact on the financial element to your business, is how you plan and how you monitor that planning moving forward. So yeah, I'm the same. I've been doing a bit of reflection and working out some areas that we're not going to really focus on moving forward, and some that we really are. So, yeah. And of course, the other one just around the corner is Thanksgiving, which we'll talk about some more later. But man, that is really snuck up on me.
Crazy.
It's crazy fast. I mean, this year has gone so quickly.
I know.
Really quickly. And I know you and I have spent a lot of time this year working on systems and processes and stuff, and all of that grind really comes to a payoff point. So, which be nicely to what we're talking about today, the cage fight between automation and outsourcing, which wins in a toe-to-toe battle.
Right.
So, I mean, one of them is like Muhammad Ali, and the other one is Israel Adesanya or someone. I mean, they're two very interesting topics.
They are indeed.
We'll climb into that and explore that quite a bit more. It'd be great to have lots of questions and interactions from the group that are here, and enjoy it, and we'll cover all those off. So why don't we talk about?
Let's jump in. You want to dive right in?
Yeah, let's get into it. What's the difference between automation and outsourcing?
Yeah, in kind of looking this over, and you and I had kind of discussed this a little bit, thinking about the difference between automation and outsourcing, and like you said, which one wins in this toe-to-toe match. I had a few really interesting thoughts, a couple of really thoughts that just kind of came into my mind when I think about the two of these. And I think it's important, before we really maybe go into who's going to win this match, who's going to duke it out, who's going to win in this ring, is really to define what each are. What is automation, what is outsourcing. And I think once we kind of define that, we can kind of understand what the two of them are. Then we can kind of figure out where their place in this whole thing is, right, when it comes to running our agency. So when I think about automation, I don't know about you, Rich, but when I think about automation, I think about taking repetitive tasks, manual tasks that we do. Maybe it's day in, day out, maybe it's weekly, maybe it's monthly, whatever it is, but taking these manual tasks and building systems around those tasks in order to automate them, right? In some way, shape, or form, right? So that those things get done with very limited human interaction. That's the way I kind of think of automation. What do you think on that, Rich?
Yeah, I think that's right, because I mean, automation is kind of, for me, it's computer-driven process that you set it. You don't necessarily forget it, but you set it, and it then frees your time to focus in other areas, and that's how you expand a business. It's how you ensure profitability and all those other things. So I think it's a tool that Certainly the last couple of years, I've spent a lot of time on working through automations, processes and systems that go with that, and to enable me to actually spend more time doing other things. And even I still like to do old-fashioned prospecting. I'm not a big phone guy. I do phone calls and I sit down and get through them. But I'm a real walk in the door, g'day, this is who I am, here's what I do, can I help you out and stuff. And I like the face-to-face thing. So that's something that, you can put systems and processes around that, but it's probably the other side of it, as far as it's more leans towards outsourcing as opposed to automation, because it's a physical thing that you do. So, but I employ both because for me, I don't think there's one clear winner out of the two things, and that's how I run my business, is use the smartest tool that's in front of you, but the one that's going to make you the most money.
Right. Yeah, I'm kind of the same belief. I think, again, going back to this idea of like defining both automation and outsourcing. And automation, I think of, like I said, general tasks and building systems around automating some of those tasks. And then when I think about outsourcing, I think of maybe not necessarily like these tasks that can be, built into a system and automated, but more so people. So obviously there are certain tasks that can be done through technology and automation and all these cool things that we can employ to get those things done. But then there are certain things that no matter what, we still need a human, right? We still need an actual person to either look it over, to do the action, or whatever it is, right? I mean, AI is advancing at a very fast pace right now. So who knows, in the next 4 or 5 years, maybe that will change, right? Or it'll just evolve to the next level. But right here, right now in 2023, 2024, I still feel like, a lot of those things can be automated through through systems, but then there are certain things that do need to be outsourced, right? In order for us as agency owners to really step into our own, to really step into that CEO role and really remove ourselves from that day-to-day operation, right? Because really that's where we ultimately want to get to. We want to get to a position of authority. We want to get to a position of running the business and not, working on the business, not working in the business, right? So you hear Tom and Nick talk a lot.
That's how you make money,
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's how we can scale.
The sooner you start working on it, the more your cash flow goes up.
100%.
And then when you dial that into, focusing on those revenue producing activities, the things that really move the needle. The success comes from that, and a little bit of momentum is something that just keeps on building, and momentum works for outsourcing with people, and it also works with automations as well. Once you get something dialed in, and then you really get it tuned in, it'll do an even better job, So that's the process that I like to go through, and like yourself, I've spent countless hours working on those things, but I've also spent countless hours working with my contracting team. And I've got an example this week where I've got a contractor who's 30 plus hours in doing what I would regard as a basic function. I've spent 15 hours of my time this week on that as well. And that for me is unproductive, but there's an investment in that to make things better as we go on. And so that's an example. I'll talk about it later. I've got something to share with some activity that I've been doing this week, using my wonderful reach machine, and we've resurrected one of our shop fronts, our AGM sites, and we've had some really good wins come out of that this week. So I'm looking forward to sharing that. What about David Wilcox is here? Jeff Tompkins. Yeah, look, I agree with this. I'll pay good money for someone to automate my ever-growing honey to-do list. And I've been asking for my shirts to be ironed since Monday, and it's not only falling on deaf ears; it comes back with abusive comments as well. So, she's not here at the moment, which is great. I can say that, but she's going, "Why would I iron your shirts? What did I get married for?" And that's it's something I'm not getting on her honey to-do list. She is rebutting it completely. I think she knows if she does it this time, she'll be stuck doing it for a long time, and it's not flying at all. So, yeah. David, I think the judges are going to rule about this. But yeah, look, I don't know who's judging this one, but we will definitely have to have the cards at the end and see what the scores are. Yeah. So, hey, shall we do some shark shout outs?
Yeah, I'd love to finish one real quick thought.
Yeah,
before we jump into that real quick, Rich, just while I got it on the top of my mind. So just going back to our topic at hand, the automation versus outsourcing, and thinking about this idea of who wins this battle. I think there's really one important point to make, and I think it's maybe to reframe the question or reframe the thinking in our own minds, that it's maybe not necessarily a battle of which one wins, but maybe the true answer is that it's a hybrid. And it's not only a hybrid solution, but it's also you as an agency owner knowing when to use what, when to deploy automation and when to outsource, and when to combine the two and when not, right? I think that is more maybe a better question to ask.
Yeah,
is not necessarily which one wins, but knowing which one to choose, when and where, and when to deploy either or, I think is a really important thing, which will definitely lead into our next topic here. But I think
that's a smart way of looking at it as well, because if you can't rely on one or the other. They really do work together, and I guess our job is to find out whether you put the MMA fighter up against that, or you put the Muay Thai or the boxer. It's a case of choosing the right. It's the same as a builder. You can't build a house with an electric drill. You're going to have to get a saw at some stage, aren't you? So you got to, as an agency owner, you got to use the right tools for the right thing. And that's a really good point. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we go and have a wee nosy at? Here we go. Sam Rahman. Oh yeah. $1,500 monthly social media client. Sam is just on fire. He's also got a broken femur, isn't he?
Wow.
Yeah, I think he's laid up with a busted femur. And a femur's a real bad bone to break.
That's serious.
Super painful. Yeah, pretty serious stuff. So I've seen he's been messaging and stuff and that. So we wish you all the best for your convalescence. And as I messaged him the other day and said you'll have plenty of time in front of your laptop. So that won't hold him down. And look, he's getting wins like that from a hospital bed, mate. That's extraordinary. Well done, Sam.
Crazy.
Jacqueline, Jacqueline pops up often because Jacqueline's just out there just taking action and getting things done. And I really like this because a marine oil platforms welding company, that's a big business. And these are the kind of businesses that spend on things that we're not going to take care of this. We want someone else to do it, So that's a great win. And no doubt there is more to come from that kind of client, Jacqueline. Well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Great opportunity.
Kurt used review pops as a foot in the door strategy and collected $297 plus future talks regarding working for a business owner that has a few websites and multiple services. Look at that. Open the door, and there's more opportunity that's going to come from it as well. That's exactly what you want to be doing is creating relationships, building them, and building accounts at the same time, and that's
service. That service is fantastic. I mean, reviews as a service, right? Reputation as a service. I mean, it's just every single business needs that, right? Yep. Especially in 2023, 2024, and beyond. I mean, this is how people shop online, right? I mean, maybe the first interaction, the first thing that somebody does is maybe they look to a friend or a family member for a recommendation or referral. But if you don't have a family member or a friend that has used that type of product or service or that lives locally, the first place you're going to go is Google. And we make these buying decisions based on a company's reputation. So reputation is everything now. And I think everybody really understands that. But us as agency owners, I say this every day, and I tell people all the time. I mean, it's a gold mine. It's huge.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
It's look, it's
really
it's what I call a top five. There are 5 things in digital marketing that make money and get attention from prospects, from customers. Those things. And reviews is just underlying for everything. I mean, Google optimization is one thing. It's an area I've been working on for the last few months. And the review part of that is kind of separate from it almost. It is so big in itself, and the job to be done with it. But if you think about it, Google advertise reviews on TV. Yeah. So it's reached a mass audience. Business owners are really in tune with the fact that they need to have these things because customers trust them. So to be using that as a foot in the door strategy and opening up further conversations, that's not only is it a great win, but it is exactly the kind of method that we encourage and we employ to grow your agency business and have something that's really sustainable and fulfilling as well.
Right.
Who's this guy who snuck in here?
Yeah, he looks a little familiar.
Yeah, well, it was a few pounds ago. Yeah,
maybe it's time to update that photo.
That photo was taken 5 years ago at Grand Central Station.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. It's a little bit out of date, but anyway. It's got to be looking as cheeky as I always do. Forget about that. It's relevant. I didn't know this was in here, but yeah, I've had some pretty successful stuff last week and this week, and I've sold my Google optimization service to an Irish pub, which I do frequent quite often. And now that we're doing business together, I get to go there even more. So that's been quite exciting. And they're part of a hotel complex, of a large 400-room hotel. And so I had a meeting last week and got introduced to the owner. Was in town. That he owns 9 properties in about 5 states. And so he was in town. So I met him. We had a chat around the table. They're both going to do the optimization thing for Google because they're saying, let's work together. And so that was good. And then the owner of the hotel says, look, can I give you a tour around and show you the place? I want to show you the business. And that turned out to be quite a bigger opportunity where he's looking to do some ad spend, retargeting work. And his initial budget was $5,000 a month. It will go up from there. And then on top of that, he said, mate, my website's a pig. It needs something done and stuff. And so we had a review of that this week, and I've got a meeting with him on Monday to present what I think we should do moving forward. The rebuild of that is more likely to be a $10,000 website, not a $3,000 or $4,000 one. So yeah, we're going to sort of change the whole thing. Plus, he's saying, hey, look, this is his weak link in his chain. He's going, let's work on this one. Let's get this sorted out, and then I'll be happy to have you work on the rest of them as well. So he is very much heading down the road of my that's my biggest win to date here in the US, and pretty exciting. Plus, the guy that introduced me, just quickly finish. He actually has his own digital marketing agency out in California, and he's specialized in a specific niche. And so I had a meeting again with him on Wednesday, and we did a deal where he's got a very, very large network. It's about 500,000 people that he uses in the industry that he's in, and he's doing some affiliate stuff through that, which is great. But that leads to resort properties that go with that industry, and all that work is coming my way. I'm effectively partnered with him to do that. So yeah, that's why my planning for 2024 is very important, because that will be a large focus for Yole Digital moving forward here in the USA. Enough about me. Let's talk about Kristen.
Let's move on.
Yeah, Kristen secured a $500 per month plus $500 to revamp a website with a new theme for a Cars for Cash guy. Awesome. Nice. That's boom. And reoccurring as well. So that is a great win, and absolutely fantastic. What's that combined total? 10,212 for the week.
Not a bad week.
Yeah, not a bad week at all. Grand total 1.32 603. So we're at 1.32. Look, I think I feel the momentum out there, and I think we are going to finish this year strong. I think there's lots of people got plenty of irons in the fire, and so yeah, that's that I think we can. I think we can close out 2023 with. Hopefully, it starts with 1.5. That would be a good baseline. Anything over and above that, let's take that as a great win. So we've got some busy work to do, and I guess the most important thing is you don't do what I'm very guilty of, not sharing my results and even the small wins. I've had a few premium listings this week. And I haven't shared those, so let's make an effort to, get to Monday and tell us about what you won last week, because a $50 win is just as important as a $25,000 win, and it matters. It really does matter. So please share them. Okie dokie. Right. Well, let's talk about my favorite subject of all, automation. I am biased. Mainly because, I don't know about you, Jason, but I've had a lot of staff over the years, and I find staff to be annoying, although quite essential for my business as well. Otherwise, I have to do everything. And if it's left to me to do everything, typically there's some things that don't get done. So that's why I need to use great tools like automation to make sure that I keep myself on the straight and narrow, and that I keep my business moving forward as well.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Going back to the topic, I mean, automation and outsourcing, I mean, it's the two things that implemented correctly in the right order are really going to help you accelerate and grow your agency to the next level. So when you think about, 2024 and beyond, and really prepping yourself for this next year, one of the things that I think a lot of agency owners struggle with is lead flow, is their pipeline. And, look, we've been in this business for a long time. I've been in it since 2009. And, I think that was one of the things, it was a hard pill to swallow initially, for me, was that it was my successes and my failures were my fault. And one of the things that I was a hard thing to understand in the beginning was, this need, this need that I had to maybe like understand everything and learn everything. But also the fact that without that pipeline, without this constant steady flow of leads and qualified people to talk to, business owners to talk to, I didn't even have a business, and it was hard to look myself in the mirror and with that realization that, here I'm spending like hours and hours and hours every day, every week, and I got nothing to show for it. But in my head, I thought, oh man, I'm working so hard. I've got this great business. But at the end of the day, without sales, you have no business, right?
Yeah.
And so it really, you really have to, you've got to have a pipeline in place. And, that's feeding you, that's constantly feeding you those new leads, those new opportunities, so that you have the ability to start closing that business. You get those at-bats, right? You get, I like to call it the at-bats. You get that chance to have that at-bat where you get to have that sales conversation and possibly close them into a sale. And that leads right into the reach machine, right? That is what we designed this reach machine to do. That reach machine is that automated process, right? It literally, we take this automated system, we plug it into the agency to really kickstart and get you that pipeline, so you can have those at bats, so you can have those conversations, right?
Absolutely, and look, I rely on my reach machine. It does the heavy lifting for me, getting them dialed in. Once it's dialed in, that is automation that I can just rely on, and it really sets the tone for your business as well. And I've look, you and I have done a lot with reach machines this year. It's a process that I started back in 2020, and it simply came from, I was doing manual outreach. We made 650, 700 phone calls and we got 50 email addresses. And I went, it's a low hit rate when we've talked to that many people and we've had that much engagement, and we're not getting something as simple as an email address. So then I started looking at other ways to find that information, and we perfected that. And then I went, why can't we just send someone an email and say, hey, we've got this for you. Would you be interested? Just let us know. Yep. And we did it. We did that largely manually, and then there was the Reach machine has automated that process. Yep. But I guess we've still got a number of things in there that are outreach. They are more manual things. Like this week I've had free listings being built for Wellington by Local, and and then we've done 160 I think this week. So it's a good number, and that's something that you could automate it with a bit of technology and stuff and that, but would you get the result you're after? And I actually want eyeballs on those opportunities, because we find more opportunities from them. So, but using my Reach machine to get to that point is exactly what it's there for. Plus, it goes a lot further than that as well, as we know. There's a great, put the link up just before that Reach walkthrough is with Charlie and Tom, and they go through and talk about all the elements of it and how the whole process works. Because I think if you get the time to go and have a look at that, it's well worth doing. There are so many things in it that add value to an agency that wants to find more customers and wants to what I call fill the funnel. And I know we use funnel in a lot of different ways, but the pipeline. And at the end of the day, from my sales background, the way you wind up creating money or getting a flow of sales is by filling the funnel and then making sure that it doesn't stop coming through, because you can put lots in the top and something's got to come out the bottom. Whereas if you just dribble things in it, then your funnel doesn't work properly. And so I think the Reach machine is a great way of doing that for an agency and reaching your customers, the potential. Then you get on with the whole developing them into an account and somebody that stays with you and spends with you as well.
Yeah, and I think to add to that point, I think as an agency owner, automation and outsourcing is not something that you build once, you set it up, and then you forget about it, right? This is an ever evolving process that we, as the agency owner, the CEO of our business, we really need to take that seriously, right? We need to step into that role so that we can take it seriously, and so we can delegate properly and continue to build out these systems, because it is going to be an ever evolving process. This is not something where we can just set it up and forget about it. Even automation, right? Those repetitive tasks that we were talking about initially, setting up these systems, they still need monitoring, right? You still need to check in and make sure that things are functioning properly. And the tools that we're using will continue to evolve, right? Over the next 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, and beyond. These tools, technology is going to continue to evolve. So it will require you to continue to monitor these systems. But what we want to do is, again, as agency owners, really step into that CEO role, delegate what we can delegate, automate what we can automate, so that we can spend less time in the business and really work on the business and monitor things, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's really, really important.
And keeping it moving forward, you've got to keep building on it. Let me, I'll quickly share something from this week. Can we see that?
I can't see anything on my end just yet.
Hang on. That's because there we go.
There we go. Now it's pulling up. Perfect.
Right. Let me quickly explain this. So this is from Wellington by Local this week. As I say, we've sent out about 1,200 emails. We've got 160 free listings. Including that, we've got 3. Actually, just before I come on this call, we've got 4 premium listings. So that's of concern to me, because I would be expecting more like 10 or 12 premiums out of that. And so we've got to look at the conversion process that's going on there. But the automation process was enhanced this week by adding this. So when you go to our AGM theme site, our community resource site, Wellington by Local, there's Add Your Business. Please, anyone that you're on here, don't go and add your business because you're not in Wellington, so that won't work. But we've put a form in there, the contact form, that comes straight back into our pipeline with our reach machine. So they fill out this form and they're automatically being added as a free listing, and they automatically go into the workflow that asks them if they'd like to upgrade and those things as well. We did that on Wednesday, and we got 10 in the first 2 days.
It's great. It's awesome.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
So that is just that continued use of automation and just making things better as we go along. So that's now a form that we're putting into all our other ones, and we're going to use it. It's part of that capture process. What we were finding is that we send out the reach machine works by sending out a sequence of cold emails, and it asks people, would you like a free listing profile on XYZ community resource? And they can reply yes. We say, hey, just check your details. Are they all correct? If you want to send us a logo, that'd be great. So it's a simple, very simple process. Then what you get is people will automatically go to the community resource site and have a look. And that's where they make their buying decision, even though you're offering them something for free. So when they start clicking on the buttons like add my business, instead of them replying back yes, because then they've looked at it, something happens, they stop, they never reply back to you, you've lost them, yet they were interested. But if they're going to take the time to go and click on that and put their details in there, which we've just seen them anyway, excuse me, then you know that is someone that is genuinely interested. Oh, yeah. So any of those inquiries that come back in, so I see that come in, it came in overnight. For me, I'm in a different time zone. So it comes in overnight. First thing I do the next morning is shoot a quick Loom video saying, hey, it's great to have you on here. Here's what we do. We've got this offer as well. Any questions you've got, just reach out to me personally, and happy to help you. Putting a face, behind the name. It's no longer a computer they're dealing with. They know they're dealing with a person. And that is where that conversion opportunity comes from. And how you step it up from 3 or 4 to 12 or 15. And so those 10 contacts that are in there, I've actually got a bit of work to do after this because I need to get that done and get it out to them while it's still fresh. Ideally, you want to do it the next morning, straight as soon as you can get to them, the better it goes. Yeah. And that, I guess, is outsourcing. That's I've got other people building the listings and all those things. I am doing that job, but I could also outsource that job as well. Yet the automations have brought me to that point where I've got the opportunity to convert a sale by using people and myself as well. So I think it's a pretty good example of the two different things, but they're both working together.
Yep. Totally agree. Jacqueline's asking, do I use automation? Jacqueline, yes, 100%. I use automation in my business all the time. To Richie's point, in the beginning, a lot of times when we're running our agency, we'll start to sell some sort of a product or a service, right? And it becomes very repetitive. We're doing the same thing over and over and over. And a lot of times that's where the best automation is born out of. It's born out of those repetitive tasks that we're just doing day in, day out, right? And it really just takes some time, some reflection, and to sit down and think, okay, is there a better way to do this? Can technology assist me in automating some of this, or is there a portion of it that can be automated? But nowadays, I think about this constantly. I'm always looking to squeeze a little bit of extra efficiency out of what we're doing in our agency. I'm looking to squeeze efficiency from not only the sales side, but also the fulfillment side, the retention side. I mean, you name it. I'm looking at each one of these areas and trying to see, where are the holes? Where are we running into brick walls? Where are we, what is really, holding us back in certain areas, right? And what can we do? How can we utilize technology in that way? So yeah, I love automation. Obviously there are certain things that I don't want to automate. Richie, that gave a perfect example, right? Having the autonomy, having the autonomy to be able to not only use automation, but then step in and add something extra special on top of that automation, a personalized video. I mean, it doesn't get more personal than that. And so I really like the ability to be able to do those types of things, to be able to step in when it's needed, right? And add that. So I 100%, I think you still have to give yourself that room to be able to do those things and not automate everything. But
and
yes,
that's exactly what Jacqueline's point is. You know, do you wait until the free listing people have been through the upgrade email sequence before you send them a video? So in your reach machine, you have the cold email sequence, which draws attention and for the free listing. And then when they reply yes to a free listing, it goes into what I call an upgrade sequence. And the upgrade sequence is about, hey, we offer you this, you know, these things here to improve your online presence, et cetera, for this amount of money. And it's normally, I do mine for $49, and it's $1,000 value package. So it's a great deal. It's $49 per year, and this is the real crux of it. And you can rely on that automation. It's going to go and do the job, and it will still bear fruit. But if I step in and do something personal and very personalized to that business, and I do it within 24 hours, I believe is you do it as soon as possible, not leaving it, because the longer you leave, even a free listing or any contact or lead, the longer you leave them for, the colder they go. So we've come from cold email. Once they've replied to us, they're no longer cold. They're what I call warm. When they go into a premium, they take an upgrade, they become a hot lead, because now your reach machine has the ability to set up the delivery of all the items that you're going to send them in a sales call, basically. That, you know, and this it's just genius, because they book an activation call, and then we get on the phone with them, the Zoom, the computer, you know, and we've got their undivided attention for 15, 20, 30 minutes, right? And I've just sent them a report about their online presence, their website, their Google business profile, how well they're being found on the internet. And that report has things like recommendations, as in, if you do this, it will change this. So say someone doesn't have a SSL certificate, security certificate on their website, I would take a screenshot of what that looks like and show it to them at the same time. Say, this is the message I'm getting when I try to visit your website. If I'm getting this message, everyone else that's coming here are getting it, and that means you're losing customers. You know, I can fix that for you today for $200, and you know, and that is the kind of opportunity that you find in doing those things. Another one might be they've only got 5 Google reviews, and yet you show that their number one competitor, who's ranking number 1 in Google, has got 1,250. And so there's only one way to fix that, and you might be a long way from 1,250 reviews. But if you get 1 5-star review every week for the next year, and you reply back to that review as well, and you do a little bit of keyword stuff, and it's a bit, you know, a bit naughty in parts, but it works. So we do that as well, and then they say, well, I haven't got the time to do that. Well, we've got a service that does that for you. You know, give us $300 a month, we'll just take care of the whole thing. And you know, so the suggested opportunity, the selling opportunity that comes from our reach machine, when you get through to that upgrade and that, then, you know, I've been able to manage an 80% close rate on those activation calls. So every 10 I get, 8 of them buy a product or service off me from, you know, $600,000, $800,000. It's the most amazing thing I've ever had, and it's the best system I've ever put in my business.
Right. And it allows you to offer a white glove service at scale. You know, it allows you to appear to be in multiple places at once. It allows you to have all of these different touch points, right? And really give this really amazing customer service experience. And I think, to your point, you know, we use automation when we can, and then we step in when, you know, automation can't do everything, right? We step in and we provide that extra level of service to help close the deal. But you're right, you know, the reach machine, that activation call, it's a sales call, you know, and it sets you up to have these amazing conversations with people who have already raised their hand. They've already said, you know what, I'm interested in growing my business. I'm interested in doing something more for my business. I'm willing to part with some money in order to do so. And now you're getting on a call, and now you're able to identify holes in their business, additional services that you may be able to help. At the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do here, guys. We're just trying, we're literally, we're in such a unique position as agency owners. We have, I really feel like we have a huge calling as agency owners to, really make a positive impact in our communities, by finding these businesses that genuinely need help with these services, that genuinely need help in their online digital presence. And we can come in and we can implement these simple strategies that are going to make massive impacts to their bottom line, right?
Yep.
And that's a huge responsibility if you really think about it. Like we as agency owners, we have this huge weight on our shoulders, and we have this ability to come in and genuinely, really positively affect change in these people's lives. I think to me, that's just a great blessing. With Thanksgiving around the corner, it's one of those things that I've been reflecting on, and I'm just so thankful that I found this business back in 2009. I'm so thankful that I'm a part of this community with you guys, but also I'm so thankful that I have the knowledge and the ability to provide this level of service to local businesses, to help their families, to implement these services. I think if you think about it more holistically, if you really reflect on what we're doing here, it makes it so much easier. It's not a sales call. We're not going in there and we're not trying to sell somebody on something they don't need.
Exactly.
We're genuinely coming in here, and we're affecting change, right? We're bringing something of massive value that's going to potentially impact generations of a family and a family business, a local business, right?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Jason. It's very good point. And I think the real crux of that is that we're not hard selling. There's never. I don't do any hard selling. I do suggestive selling, and more importantly, right from that free listing, I am cultivating a relationship. I'm becoming their trusted partner in being in their digital marketing, because people don't understand it. They are out of their depth. They don't even understand how to log into their Google Business Profile. They don't understand what they don't know what the back end of a website is. It's like, what? SEO is what? And all of these things. So I'm lucky. I've got a long history in business and a lot of different businesses as well. Some very complex industries to some very fast-moving consumer goods and those things as well. And it means you can just take the relatable stuff out of that, and that is all about the relationship that you're cultivating. But always I'm talking to them as another business owner, and identifying problems and then offering a solution to that problem as well. And that's what I find digital marketing is, and that's what my reach machines. That's what they do. They bring me to that conversation, because then it's all on you, and your professionalism and the way that you go about and do things is what's going to reflect on you, and that's going to build your business or it's going to kill your business. So good attentive follow-ups, doing what you say you'll do, sticking to your word, all of those things. They're fundamentals of the business that we're in. And it's so unfortunate that this is an industry where we have, in the past in particular, a lot of rogue element, a lot of people done half-baked jobs. I mean, we've all seen websites that someone paid 70 grand for back in 2005, and you look at it and go, it's nothing more than a landing page. They are just terrible, and yet these companies got ripped. They got told, you have to have one of these, so they go out and do it and stuff and that, and then bang, it just never got any attention afterwards. And there's a rogue element in it, and I think that that comes across. And when you're reaching out to business owners, if you just sit there and ring every roofer in town, right, they've heard from 200 other people before you. So where is your in? Because unless you know the person personally or you have a connection, they're not interested. They might be polite. Where I am here in Tennessee, they're polite. They won't just hang up on you, but they're not interested. They've heard it 100 times before, and if not more. So, that's why when we go out to them and just say, hey, here's a community offering, it's community based, it's free, it's all yours, it's a little bit of exposure online. And if they're thinking, gosh, I need more exposure online, that's you're in. Then you started that warm conversation. So
Right.
yeah, it's a great system to work with. It does deliver results, but most importantly of all, you're building that good, feel good business, and that's what we're all here to do. I mean, I don't know anyone in the Sharks community, and certainly not in Remote Millionaires, that's a rogue trader just looking to grab as much money as they can and not do anything and run away. I haven't met anyone like that, particularly in Remote Millionaires, and I can't think of anyone I've met like that in offline Sharks either.
Right. Well,
yeah.
So who's going to win this match, this automation, this outsourcing match? I, in my mind, it's a tie. That's the way I'm looking at it. It's a full-on tie. And the Reach machine. What's great about the Reach machine is it takes. We've done the heavy lifting. We've done the hard work behind the scenes. Richie did all these processes manual. We came in and we automated all these manual processes that he was doing for years. And we used an amazing software, high level, in order to do that. And we've built out this Reach machine. And now we're giving it to you guys to basically slot into your business to automate one of the most important things that we talked about early on in this call, which is your pipeline, right? Because again, going back to sales, without a steady stream of business owners that you can have qualified conversations with day in, day out, week in, week out, we honestly, we don't have anything, right? And again, to my earlier point, really, that's what we want. We want to be able to make an impact, right? And the only way to be able to make an impact is to make sure that you're talking to individuals, talking to business owners day in, day out. The more people you talk to, the bigger your impact is going to be, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I'm a little biased in that, I started out with the whole Reach thing a few years ago, and it's got there. So, but it has been the basis of me building my agency business in New Zealand, and now my agency business here in the United States as well. So, it's given me a fantastic platform to work on, and it's created opportunity for me versus just doing straight outreach, which was manual. It was time consuming. It was very costly as well, particularly in New Zealand, and it was just difficult. And people were annoyed by being phoned up. You ring a bakery at 11 o'clock in the morning in New Zealand, man. They're busy. They're selling pies and custard squares and stuff. And they just hang up on you. They're not interested. So you've got to go back to that old school meeting people, networking, and that works really good too. And that is what I consider pure manual outreach. Is a sure. Walk in the door. That conversation I had on Wednesday night turned into another potential customer, a limousine company. That I looked at the website on mobile. It's not mobile optimized. Terrible, really bad marketing. And he's like, man, it's actually splitting up with his wife. So he says, look, you've got to go to my wife, and she really needs this. So that's sort of something he's setting up for me. And but that will be another high value customer for us here. So and that it just comes to that manual outreach. But I still can't beat sending out 2,500 emails that have cleaned and groomed, and getting that 250, 300 free listings back, and 20 or 30 premium that go with it. Because those 20 or 30 premium, let's say it's 30, I'm going to sell to 20 of them, and I'm selling those 20 people that buy over and above. They're not buying it because it's something to buy. It's a shiny object. They're buying it because they need it. Right. And when they get results with that, they're going to spend more money with me as well. So it's a great process, and it's certainly the way that you build your business, and it's certainly the way that I built mine. So yeah, it's fantastic. I know there was a link down the bottom there, Offline Sharks cold email setup. There was an offer for they were accepting some more people in Reach. It's a big thing, and it's never been something that's been open all the time. You can just come along and buy it when it suits you, and those things. It doesn't work that way. There is a lot of setup stuff that we do behind the scenes, and there's a bit of a white glove service that goes with it as well. We actually do a lot of the functionality parts and that for people who are coming into to the Reach program. So the offer was on. I know it was last week. They had, I think they had a webinar, and then it was talked about last Friday with Charlie and Tom. So I'm not sure how many spots are left, but I do know that it ends in about 24 or 30 hours or something. Right. So that there is a window still available. If you're sitting on the fence, you're thinking about it, you want to kick the tire and stuff, go and watch the other link that we posted earlier, that Reach walkthrough. It'll give you a lot of information and answer any questions you might have. And then on top of that, I'd encourage you to hop in certainly tonight. I'm absolutely certain it closes tomorrow, and get your own Reach machine and change the way you go to market and the amount of customers that you get. If you've been doing it all manual, you can still do manual, but you need to have this automation to wind up filling that funnel and getting a flow of customers that you're going to make money from. And it's a great time of year to get into it as well. I mean, we're in the holiday season here in the States, Thanksgiving next week, and then right into Black Friday, Christmas, New Year. I really enjoy, and I target very specific areas to send out to over Christmas and New Year. And there is a certain type, there are certain niches, if you like. There's certain kinds of customers that they don't stop working, but they're stuck away with family for a week, or they're doing holidays and stuff and that. And the greatest time is like, I can't look after the kids. I've got to answer my emails and stuff, and they might be at the lake or the seaside or somewhere in that. And they still, I find you get a really good engagement from business owners over the holiday period, but I'd never be rude enough to send an email to someone on Thanksgiving Day. And on the weekends, I kind of stay around them, but I kind of keep open during that period as well. It's one of the times a year that I actually do quite a big effort on prospecting and reaching out, as it turns out to be.
Speaking of that, that's a great. Jason, oh well, yeah, go ahead.
No, far away, mate. Far away, please.
Oh yeah, no, I was just going to say, to your point, 100%. I've always had a lot of success during the holidays. A lot of people are doing exactly what we just talked about. We're reflecting on the past year, the successes, the failures, all of that sort of thing. This is that time of year where where we have that reflection. And I think, it's really important that, if you continue to prospect during this time, it's going to be really good for you, because as they reflect, they're looking over the past year and they're saying, hey, look, we didn't hit our numbers, or we hit our numbers, or we're just shy of our numbers. What are we going to do next year in order to make sure that we hit these numbers, or make sure that we hit our goals, right? And so they're looking for other opportunities. And if you happen to fall in their inbox, if you happen to message them on social, if you happen to, send them a text or whatever during this period of time, to Richie's point, a lot of these guys, even though they're with family, maybe they're checking their phone, they're checking Facebook, they're checking LinkedIn, they're checking email, right?
Well, that is something I've done forever. I get up on New Year's Day, and you can guarantee that I will be checking my emails at some stage, and in the morning, normally with a horrible hangover, and that, because as a business owner, that's just what I do. I don't. It's actually moving to America has changed my habits a little bit, where I now don't really do much on a Sunday unless I really have to do it. And the only reason I'll be doing stuff on a Sunday is because it's Monday back in New Zealand. So that's, I might spend an hour at the computer early Sunday evening, but otherwise I just stay offline. Whereas I used to, like, every day I would make sure everything was there and stuff, back home. So, that's, but as a business owner, I think I'm atypical, particularly in New Zealand, where I don't mind, but I don't expect you to be sending me an email at 10 o'clock on Christmas morning. That is rude and that is intrusive. And so, I never do that. But I know that also New Zealand as Christmas, New Year, that's the summer holiday season and stuff. So by about the second, third week of January, we go, that's our hardest time of the year for prospecting. We go hard as, we do not hold back. We set up everything. We make sure we've got everything going out, because when kids go back to school at the start of February, much like they do here in the States, they go back to school after their summer break, that is when people get refocused on what they're doing in their business and stuff. They're back into a routine, and capturing people at the start of that routine is the best way to encourage change and a change in behavior and those things as well. So from a sales opportunity, it's really, really important. And that's why I think, if you got into your Reach machine, dove into that for the holiday period, I think you'd be surprised just how good the uptake is over that time of year.
And hey, you and I, we're a little bit biased, right? We're a little biased on the Reach Machine, right? We were a big part of it. We built the entire thing. But look, guys, if you're, like Richie said, if you're on the fence at all, I don't want, I highly encourage you to really reflect, really think hard. And if you don't have a system in place in order to fill your pipeline consistently with qualified business owners, then you really should think hard about getting into the Reach program. And again, maybe I am a little biased here, but I really want, I want the best for you, just like I want the best for my clients, just like I want my clients to succeed. Like Richie and I are extremely passionate about what we do. We love this business. We love helping people, but we also love helping other agency owners.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's getting out of your own way. It's understanding, like I had to have that self-reflection to understand, like, what am I good at? What am I not good at? And understand, like, what are the things that we need to implement, that we need to have in place day in, day out to continue to see growth, right? Yeah. And again, coming up on this new year, this is a perfect time for that reflection. We've got the system. Reach is there. It's set up. You're going to get access to myself, to Richie, to the team. We've got a fantastic team here, and everybody is dedicated to helping you guys. Everyone here wants you to succeed, and we will do anything that we can in order to make that happen. So I really implore you, I encourage you guys, check it out. If it makes sense, join us. We would love to have you. We'd love to help you succeed and be a part of your journey. So that's all. I'm going to leave you guys with that.
That's fantastic, mate. Look, I agree with everything you just said. It was, it'd be wonderful to. My enjoyment, especially this year, has come from seeing agency owner peers succeed, and those shout outs are a great reflection of that, and the communities that we have as well. And just the joy in seeing people really get something across the line for the first time, but also people that are well established getting extraordinary wins. As it goes along as well. It's just the most wonderful thing, and I'm thankful for that. With Thanksgiving coming up, I'm thankful for that, and I really enjoy being a part of this community, and I'm really enjoying what I'm doing more so than anything I've done for a very, very long time. So that's what I'm thankful for Thanksgiving, Jason. Hey, we've got a quick thing to do here.
Yeah.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling, chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
Woo! Yeah. Hey,
man, love that song.
I love that song too. That's it is one of my highlights of the week.
Yeah.
Hey, so today, congratulations, Cash App money coming your way, Doug Page and Sandy Alexander.
Fantastic. Congrats,
awesome.
Guys.
Righto. Well, Jason, thank you so much for making yourself available today. I know when you're traveling. Best of luck for your son's football tournament. And I hope that goes 19-0, man. That's just like,
I know.
Oh, come on,
it was just a total shutout. Total shutout. So, it was really cool to watch.
I hope you managed to sneak away and get to the F1 Grand Prix this weekend in Las Vegas. Yeah. How cool would that be?
Yeah.
That looks like it's shaping up to be a very interesting occasion, and it's certainly going to be a highlight on the sporting calendar. There's no doubt about that. Sure. Everyone, take action.
Thanks, everybody.
Get amongst it, and what's the name? Have another good week coming up ahead.
Yes.
Enjoy Thanksgiving, and make sure that you celebrate with family and friends, and reflect on what you're thankful for as well. Cheers. We'll say goodbye, and we'll see you all again very soon. Thanks, Jason.
Cool. Thanks a lot.
You've been watching the Aloha Marketing Jam session. We've helped thousands just like you start and scale their businesses. If you'd like our help to grow your business, Go to the link on your screen now and let us know how we can help you. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this stream. We'll be back here next Friday for another live show. Until then, aloha.